Hey, how are you? Lisa Marie Rosati here, head goddess at the Goddess Lifestyle Plan. And I'm going to be talking to you today about another goddess mindset. It's goddess mindset number two, and it's boundaries, creating boundaries. And that's a really touchy subject, especially for women, because it is my belief that women for centuries have been told that they really have to be a good girl and answer every question and take whatever verbal abuse that is thrown at them, and I think that that has really, after all of these millennia, really built up, and we find ourselves now in a culture where women feel the need to answer questions that make them uncomfortable. And part of being a self-actualized goddess is no longer answering questions that make you feel uncomfortable. Now, this brought up a lot of things for me because I used to be a very good girl and answer all sorts of questions that were completely inappropriate, whether it was to friends or the men in my life or my parents even, that type of thing. I got into talks about or answering things that really I knew was going to be met with judgment and disapproval. And then after I got myself in that little pickle after answering something that I really knew I shouldn't have answered, then I spent the rest of whatever amount of time the argument lasted defending myself and trying to convince everybody that, what I felt was correct. Now, a goddess no longer needs to do that. When you're a self-actualized goddess, you actually don't have the need anymore. When I'm asked with an uncomfortable question, which I am asked a lot, there are many people who are like, well, what do you feel about this, or what do you do about that? And I'll just say, I really rather not talk about that. And that's my answer. It's a very empowered answer. I'm choosing not to engage in that conversation. I'm choosing not to answer that question. A lot of the places that feeling the need to answer a question comes from our upbringing as little girls. It's rude to not answer. It's rude to say you don't want to talk about something, and that has been pretty much uh, hammered into us. And nobody wants to be considered a bitch, Nobody wants to be considered, mean or not nice. So we find ourselves in this, slippery slope of how do we not answer something that makes us feel uncomfortable and still be considered nice? Well, the answer to that is I'm not sure there is an answer. I'm not sure that people would read you saying, I'm not comfortable with that. They would probably say, oh, you're such a bitch. You don't want to talk about that? And that's a real problem for most women. We don't want to be considered bitches. But I'm here to say right now that I am starting this goddess lifestyle revolution because I don't mind being a bitch, because a goddess is sick and tired of being nice. A goddess is sick and tired of being walked on, and a goddess really doesn't care what other people think. She marches to her own drum, and as long as she's following her moral compass, it doesn't really matter what other people think or other people say. So what I'm saying to you is, next time somebody asks you something that makes you feel a little put to the wall, like, ooh, like the internal dialogue in the back of your head starts going, ooh, I don't like that question. I don't want to answer that question for whatever reason it is. I would like you to remember watching this video and say just simply, I really don't feel comfortable talking about that, and step into your full goddess power. So I'd love you to visit me and visit the Goddess Lifestyle Plan at www.goddesslifestyleplan.com for more goddess mindsets and kick-ass tips for your life. Talk to you soon. Bye.